Welcome all. Thank you for joining our fourth webinar of the Virtual Origin Trip 2021. This is our final webinar of this season. So if you haven't seen any of the previous webinars, please have a look at them. I highly encourage you to do so. You can find them on our Virtual Origin Trip landing page on primavera.coffee/VOT. Please share them with everyone you think they might be of interest to. So today's topic is our dry mill. We are very excited and proud to have it running. It's based in Santa Rosa department, which is just outside of Guatemala City. And I don't know how much you know about dry milling, but I definitely didn't know as much as I do now. And I'm very happy that I've gotten informed, because it is a very important part of the whole coffee value chain. And it definitely does a lot for the eventual coffee quality. So if you have any questions throughout this webinar, because there's a lot of information, please post your questions in the chat on the right-hand side, and at the end of the webinar, we'll have some time to address those. But enough of that of me for now. We'll check in with Nadine, who will talk a little bit about the role of the dry mill and the importance in terms of coffee quality. Over to you, Nadine.
Thank you, Kim. Yes, the dry mill is definitely a key part of our operation here in Guatemala. When we first opened Primavera, we were a coffee importer only back in 2013. We weren't managing our own exports. This meant that we didn't have our own dry mill, and milling was done by a third party. And it was in 2016 when we opened the Central de Café, our Primavera's sister exporting company, to become more vertically integrated in order to manage our quality better. This is why that was like the step forward that we wanted to take. And then with the growth of La Central de Café and Primavera has enabled us to take the next step this year. And we decided to open our new and larger dry mill facility. So our new dry mill is fitted with sort of state-of-the-art machinery, all Pinalense, that has been newly installed, and we're very excited that a lot of the energy is coming from solar panels. So it's both we had the environment as well in mind. It has been a great challenge because, as with any new machine, we've had to test run it for a couple of weeks now, and it's finally ready to go. And we're very excited that Wilder and Santos, who were the mill managers at the previous mill where we were working, decided to join us in the new mill, because they know exactly what we're looking for, how to work with microlots, because as you'll see in the future videos, milling microlots is very different than milling bigger lots. It definitely requires a different skill. It requires a lot of knowledge about the machinery in order to tweak it to each lot. So I'm very excited about both this webinar and the fact that we now have our own bigger and more efficient dry mill. Of course, being a quality focused company makes this excellent. I think milling has a very important role in the quality of the coffee, but it's oftentimes not recognized because it's not seen, so people don't really understand what goes into it. So anything from milling can be like poorly sorted coffee, to even creating defects and things like that in the cup that we don't want, and therefore we need to make sure that the milling is done as best as possible. And it's certainly both a science and an art, and hopefully it's something that we've improved along the years, and we hope to perfect in the next couple of years with our new dry mill facilities. So without further ado, we will share the tour of the dry mill, and back to Kim.
Thanks, Nadine. Yeah, so as Nadine said, next we will show you a video of a tour of the dry mill. Leading us around is Santos, one of the mill managers. Because of the noise in the mill, we decided to not use the original audio, but do a bit of a narration, just so we won't drive you crazy with all the sounds. So please start the video.
Mill manager Santos will lead us on a tour of our newly completed dry mill in Santa Rosa, Guatemala. Parchment coffee is dumped here to be transported to the machinery. Coffee is moved through the dry mill via a system of tubes powered by compressed air. Santos explains that the first step is the pre-cleaning machine, which removes large debris like leaves that might have fallen into the coffee during picking. Loose bits of parchment can also be sorted out at this stage. Any debris sorted out is removed by the machines and sent through tubes to these bags to be disposed of. The coffee is moved to a destoner after the pre-cleaning. Coffee continues to move through the tubes while other tubes bring loose bits of parchment, debris and some defective beans to the ground to be collected in these bags. Santos explains that overhead, coffee passes through the dehuller, which expels green coffee. Coffee with parchment still attached can be sent through the dehuller again to remove the parchment completely. Coffee exits the dehuller into this grey drum, which is rapidly vibrating in order to further clean the coffee.
También es vacío. Pergaminos y basuritas que se vienen aparte.
The intense vibrations of the drum above help sort out the majority of the remaining bits of parchment, as Santos shows here. The green coffee that has been dehulled moves through this chute and passes back up the next pipe for the following step. It passes through the tubes to the next stage, this vibrating size sorter. Santos demonstrates the side-to-side motion of the screens inside the machine. Coffee falls through the perforations in the screens, and all undersized beans will be sorted out. Beans still surrounded by parchment will be sorted out because they are too large, as we see here. On the other side, these are the beans that are sorted out for being too small. This sorting also removes many broken pieces that are undersized. The beans that are the correct size once again flow upward in a tube. The tube deposits the coffee onto this tilted table, which vibrates rapidly to separate coffees of different densities. Many defective coffee beans are low density and will be sorted out here, as will more bits of parchment. Santos shows us a sample of the least dense coffee amidst the parchment that will be sorted out. The coffee passes overhead through the tubes once again in order to enter the colour sorter. Here, Wilder is operating the controls of the electric colour sorting machine. This machine detects defects such as black, sour or insect-damaged beans by examining their colour. Under the dashboard, you can see grey chutes where defective beans are expelled by the machine. The clean coffee is lifted by the tubes to this large hopper for the final step of the process, packing coffee into bags. The coffee is released into a plastic bag encased in a jute bag, which rests on this large scale. This is how workers ensure that every bag meets the specified weight. After passing through all the stages, this exportable green coffee meets our quality standards. From here, it will be loaded into a container and shipped to roasters around the world.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video. Yeah, the dry mill is pretty Willy Wonka-esque with its blue and yellow colors. So next we will watch some more videos of our mill managers, Wilder and Santos, where Wilder will talk a little bit about the dry milling process and how it's a key part of coffee quality. And after that, we will see Santos one more time, who will speak about honey processing and what happens to microlots when they get to the mill.
Buenas tardes. Para empezar, por favor, decir su nombre y cuántos años tiene usted trabajando con café.
Mi nombre es Wilder del Cid, llevo aproximadamente un poquito más de 10 años de estar trabajando el cafecito.
Bien. Y en nuestro beneficio seco, ¿cuántos sacos podemos procesar o trillar en un día?
Pues más o menos si un lote es completo, es decir, una sola partida, más o menos unos 200 sacos al día. Dependiendo si es microlote, puede ser hasta 150 a 125 sacos porque es más complicado el microlote, ¿verdad?
Sí, eso es una cosa interesante para nosotros. Ajá. Porque muchos de nuestros clientes compran microlotes. Así entonces queremos entender la diferencia entre procesar un lote grande y, por ejemplo, muchos microlotes, 10 microlotes. Sí, pues. ¿Cuál es la diferencia y qué tiene que hacer entre cada lote o entre cada microlote? Sí, pues.
Por ejemplo, cuando un lote es completo o un contenedor de un solo cliente, el flujo es más continuo, no tenemos pausas, solo calibramos las máquinas desde un principio, hacemos limpieza, que no haya quedado ningún residuo, que todo esté limpio. Comenzamos con el proceso de principio a fin cuando es un solo lote completo, entonces las máquinas están de corrido y no hay interrupciones de nada hasta finalizar el trabajo. Solo es de monitorear e ir calibrando las máquinas dependiendo si el café le va pidiendo más, dependiendo cómo salga el café, así se van calibrando las máquinas, ¿verdad? El mismo café le va pidiendo a uno cómo se va comportando él y así mismo le va uno calibrando y graduando las máquinas para llegar al proceso final, ¿verdad? Del empaque.
¿Y cuánto tiempo es más o menos entre los lotes? Por ejemplo, si termina un lote, un microlote, ¿cuánto tiempo necesita para calibrar, limpiar y empezar la nueva?
Más depende del lote. Si son, por ejemplo, unos 15 sacos, más o menos alrededor de entre hora y media para limpiar todos los residuos, hacer limpieza y comenzar con un nuevo microlote, ¿verdad? Entonces sí es un poquito más tardado, es más lento el proceso de microlote. Esa es la diferencia entre un lote grande y un lote pequeño, ¿no? Que en el lote pequeño tenemos que ajustar, calibrar las máquinas cuando terminamos de hacer el proceso. Similarmente con todos los microlotes.
Y para calibrar una máquina, ¿qué es? ¿Está calibrando para tamaño del grano o sí, qué es la calibración?
Sí, dependiendo el café, qué tamaños quiera el cliente, así se va calibrando la máquina en zarandas 16, zarandas 14, que son las principales que nosotros exportamos, ¿va? Entonces, en base a ese tamaño calibramos, básicamente la configuración es la misma, solo le vamos subiendo y bajando parámetros al café, va dependiendo qué es lo que él vaya pidiendo, ¿va?
Bueno, ¿y quiero entender un poco más la relación entre el trabajo en el beneficio seco y la calidad del producto final. ¿Cómo influye el beneficio seco en la calidad?
Influye ahí sí que en todo, desde principio a fin. ¿Por qué? Porque si no tuviéramos las máquinas no podríamos identificar defectos del café, ¿va? Las máquinas pues prácticamente están graduadas y calibradas para un margen excelente de café, se puede decir. Entonces desde bien aseado, uniforme, bien limpio, estéticamente agradable para la vista, para el paladar, para todo eso. Tratamos de dejar el café lo más nítido que se pueda, con lo mínimo de imperfecciones, para que sea un café de calidad mundial, ¿verdad?
Y la última pregunta es la limpieza del beneficio seco. Me parece algo muy importante, pero un poco difícil con,
sí,
con todo eso.
Sí, básicamente la limpieza es algo que tenemos que hacerlo a diario, y cuando son microlotes pues a cada cierto tiempo, cuando cambiamos de partida o de orden, va. Entonces sí es necesario y obligatorio todo el tiempo estar con la limpieza. Si es necesario 2 o 3 veces al día para tener limpia el área, ser más higiénicos, evitar cualquier basura, cualquier objeto que se pueda incorporar en el café, ¿va? Entonces sí es bien importante, es uno de los puntos número 1 para trabajar el café, la limpieza, ¿va?
Perfecto.
Limpieza y orden.
Muchísimas gracias.
Así es.
Great. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I really personally like that Wilder said at the ending that cleanliness is the most important thing, and I think that, you know, as coffee professionals, we see that all throughout the chain from the farm to the cafe, really. Also interesting that it takes an hour and a half for them to clean the dry mill between, yeah, whether it's a micro lot or a bigger lot. It's a long time. Okay, so next video for you is another interview with Santos. So please start the video.
Buenas tardes y gracias por hacer la entrevista. Para empezar, ¿puede decir su nombre y cuántos años tiene usted trabajando en café?
Mi nombre es Santos Morán. Soy originario del Progreso, Guastatoya. Tengo 30 años de vivir acá ya con el café.
Perfecto, en el beneficio, ¿verdad?
En producción.
En producción.
En producción de siembra, corte, desde la semilla hasta el proceso.
Entonces, explícanos paso a paso qué hacemos aquí con los honeys, secando los honeys.
Sí, aquí lo primero que hacemos es seleccionar el fruto, que no lleve camahues, que no lleve verdes. Además de eso, ya cortarlo en la maduración normal.
Ajá.
Que no esté pasado de maduro ni le falte maduro, que esté en su...
Sí. Y secamos aquí en las camas.
Lo traemos hoy, no lo despulpamos, lo despulpamos mañana. Esta noche se queda en saco, ya gasta su fermento. Y a veces lo despulpamos mañana, lo dejamos ensacado ya en pergamino, en fermento. Y pasado mañana,
ajá,
lo pasamos a la mesa, ya a secamiento.
¿Y cuántos días tiene en la mesa cada lot?
En la mesa se lleva de 12 a 15 días.
12 a 15 días.
Ajá, depende cómo Dios nos mande la temperatura.
Con mucho sol.
Ajá.
Y
la temperatura normal del ambiente.
Ajá. Y entiendo que es la máquina que usamos para triar es diferente para los lavados y los honeys y naturales.
Sí, yo lo he trabajado con diferente máquina, pero ahorita esta parece que trae la misma, va a ser, solo que hay que adaptarla a estos honeys y naturales.
Ajá. Pero
ella es más moderna.
Ajá,
sí.
Entiendo.
Ajá.
Bien.
Okay, So that was all of our content for today. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about dry milling and about what it does to our coffee quality. If you have any questions, then now would be the time to ask them. But I don't think there are any questions. So as always, if you have any questions after this, feel free to email us and we will try to answer your questions. And please stay tuned on our virtual origin trip page, because we will post updates and dates on when to expect your the new fresh coffees to land in a warehouse near you. So thank you so much for joining us today, and hope to see you soon. Stay safe. Have a good day.